Merry Christmas, Andrew.
Oh, Merry Christmas. And can I say what a joy it is? I think this is our third Christmas together, because we always cover this sort of bit story, and it's rather like a Mr. and Mrs. now, isn't it?
See you more than some of my
Come
family.
on.
Yes,
I love it. So
indeed.
next year, you're limbering up. It'll be your first Christmas as a married couple next year?
Well, that is true.
Hopefully. Oh, is that right? Is this breaking news? It's got to be good.
Hopefully.
Yeah, if you don't get sick of me.
I think it's more likely to be the other way around.
Oh, is that right? So what we've been doing is a regular series, Andrew Eborn's Fake or Fact, where we look at news stories because we're drowning in a sea of information, most of which is false. And I thought we'd do a rather special one for Christmas. And we'll start this off. I mean, your favourite Christmas songs. This is scoring. There's prizes at the end as well. What are your favourite Christmas songs?
Oh, I like...
Driving home for Christmas.
Oh, who's it by?
I don't know.
Is it Chris Rea?
It is Chris Rea.
Is that
one nil?
Absolutely, very good. Well, I'll give you a point for that. But actually, Emily sang so well. There we go. What, favourite ones?
One of my favourite songs. Apart from the Pogues, I must say I like the old classic Jingle Bells.
Oh, Jingle Bells, a classic thing. Pogues is really, just before we leave the Pogues, I mean, Kirsty MacColl and Shane, a brilliant, brilliant song. That, for me, I thought it was going to be Christmas number one, didn't you?
Well, exactly, especially given the fact that he's recently had his funeral, etc.
Yeah.
And the big celebration of life that took
Such a
place there.
great tune.
Absolutely. But you said Jingle Bells as well.
Yep.
Well, I can tell you that you are absolutely wrong. So I'm going to give a point to him, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. It's not a Christmas song.
What?
Jingle Bells is not a Christmas song. Do you know who wrote it?
Santa.
Santa wrote it. In his spare time, there he was. Santa, when he was born in Patara, he was born in what we call modern Turkey, Santa. It was really interesting. No, it's actually, it's a wonderful bit. I've got a picture of him here. This is the glorious chap who wrote it, and his name is James Lord Pierpoint. Can we put him up? First slide, please. This is what he looks like. And he wrote it. There he is. Doesn't he look glorious? What a glorious beard. What do you think?
They don't make him like that anymore.
They don't. Well, lovely lady. What happened? 18...
Andrew,
I'm here all week. 1850 he wrote it, and there's a bit of a dispute as to whereabout he did it. Apparently, and they've got a little plaque of this, there's a little called the Simpson Tavern in Medford in Massachusetts, and they put up this plaque. Should we have a picture of the plaque? Can we have a picture of the plaque? This is what they did. But there's a dispute as to whether or not it was actually there. So there we go. Jingle Bells composed here is what it says in 1850 in this pub. It's basically what it was. And there's a little bit of a dispute because basically it's 19 High Street in Medford Square, and actually is what's now the Disrick Eye Care. The parking is available. You can go and visit this plaque. And what happened is basically he didn't do it for Christmas, but he did it for Thanksgiving. And if you actually listen to the lyrics, there is no reference at all to Christmas. There's no reference at all to December. And it's all to do with Thanksgiving. And his father was a pastor, and it was so popular that he sang it almost as beautifully as Emily would sing it. And that's what he did. So it is currently 2-0 till... well, I'll give you 1 point. 2-1 to Emily. Keep going.
Right.
Fantastic.
All right, good.
Second fact or fig. OK, so Jingle Bells, we said. Is Jingle Bells the first ever song to be played in space?
In space? Oh, gosh.
First ever song to be played in space.
Why would it be the first ever song played in space? Why would it be Jingle Bells? I mean, it's topical, I suppose, so maybe it is. Go on, are you going to go yes or no, Emily?
I'm going to go no.
You're going to go no?
False.
I'll make it interesting, I'll go true.
You're going to go true. OK, well, I can tell you that Patrick is absolutely right. It was the very first song.
Oh, you tricked me.
And I'll tell you what it was. December the 16th, 1965. There were two astronauts, a guy called Tom Stafford and Wally Shearer, and they were basically up there, and we have a recording. Every expense is very good. Can we play the recording, please? I'm working them hard in the gallery, aren't we?
Yes, you are.
Listen to this.
Roger, Houston and Gemini 7, this is Gemini 6. We have an object, looks like a satellite, going from north to south, probably in a polar orbit. He's in a very low trajectory, traveling from north to south, and has a very high fineness ratio. Looks like it might even be about a very low, looks like maybe going 300 pretty soon. Stand by one. Looks like he's trying to signal something.
So what they say, so that, oh, look at you singing along.
I can't help
so,
it.
1965 that was, and it was a bit garbled, it was a bit tricky getting the reception down there, like mobile phones, isn't it? There he was on his Nokia, the early version. We have an object, it looks like a satellite going from north to south, probably a polar orbit, very low, looks like he might be going to re-enter soon. So they were saying they were spotting Santa Claus, which is amazing. And then these two astronauts, one of them had taken up his harmonica, which they strapped to the side of their thing with dental floss so it could stay in and wouldn't float around.
Yeah.
One person had their harmonica, the other person had their bells, and they rang it. And you can go and see those harmonica and the bells at the National Air and Space Museum. That's where they are. I think we've got pictures of those as well. So there we are, that's your harmonica. That was the original harmonica, which was used for playing Jingle Bells, and this is what the actual bells look like. There you go.
Oh, very simple.
Well, yeah, that's what you were expecting something a bit more dramatic, weren't you?
Yeah, it's a rather small harmonica.
Yeah, thank you. It's the weather. I would work on that basis, but it's dangerous up there.
I mean, I am just amazed that they even managed to send anything to space back in the day.
It was incredible.
When you think about the fact that we've just had to cancel HS2.
Yes.
You know, and they end up, you know, what year was that?
1965. So December 1965. And the great thing is there were two of them. There were two different bits and pieces. And they basically went side by side for about 5 hours. And that's what they sort of turned around and did, which was glorious. So that was a little prank that they played. Well, I thought it was rather fun, wasn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah, absolutely it was.
Do we have time for one more?
Do we have time for
in
one
this
more?
section? OK.
We do.
OK,
We do.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The last one, OK. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He was originally going to be called Reginald. Is that true?
I mean, the thing is, when you look at the other names of the reindeer, right, Reginald wouldn't be that
Weird.
out of place.
No, it wouldn't be that
Reginald the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Right, I'm going to
Sing it. Come on, let's hear you.
Reginald the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Woo.
OK, I'm going to say true. Why not?
Emily?
False.
Well, I can tell you that, Emily, you are absolutely wrong. Because it was true. So what it was, Robert L. May was the illustrator. He was in Illinois in 1939, and basically it was done from Montgomery Ward, a department store. And every year they used to give out these colouring books, and they say, well, hang about, we're losing shed loads of money. We should come up, to being copywriters, we're going to come up with our own design. So they invented Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and originally there were complaints that he shouldn't have a red nose because they were worried that people might think he's alcoholic. Too much of the eggnog for Rudolph.
There you go.
But they looked at that sort of stuff, and he was inspired, actually. We've got a few pictures of Rudolph, I think, as you pull them up as well, so you can see some of the early ones of him. So this is on that sort of basis, but he was inspired. There we are. That's the very first book which he wrote there, and Robert L. May in 1939. There's Robert. Is that lovely? There you go. And this is what we always remember at this time of year as well. And he was inspired by Ferdinand the Bull from 1936. Do you remember Ferdinand the Bull? There we go.
Well, OK.
So he was by Munro Leaf and drawings by Robert Lawson. And actually that was the first book which was allowed in Russia.
Oh, yeah.
So they sort of turned around and gave special permission. It was the first non-communist book you could have, because Ferdinand, red rag to a bull, you have red flag to a bull, I guess. But it worked on that sort of basis. But in Nazi Germany, they burnt the books, which was awful. Not good. But that's what happened.
Andrew, can't I just say thank you? You really have elevated things here already. And we'll be hearing from you again.
We'll be coming back, but I can tell you it's neck and neck at the moment. So the scores we'll tell you in a little bit.